What's going on YouTube? Fuzzy Wuzzy. Kind of hanging out in my garage. Slow times again. So I'm just, doing stupid shit. It's nice. My garage floor had a chance to dry out. So that's really nice. I hate walking around in the wet shit. But anyway, I got a transmission job coming up, I think. Right there. Well, I'm pretty sure I do got it coming up. I'm the one that towed it home and ain't gonna go anywhere. That's not a car I'm flipping. It's a buddy of mine's. I'm just helping him put a transmission in it. Since I haven't bought anything myself, I got time to do it. I haven't been able to find anything clean. So what are you gonna do? Times are slow. So I'm just gonna do my normal poking around in the garage. So I'm gonna rebuild this thing. My transmission jack, as you can see by all the shit down there at the bottom, and that wet looking shit. Door fell. And that wet looking cylinder there, it leaks. It leaks pretty good. It is a fucking A. What the fuck is going on out here? Jesus. It's an Atlas. Let me see if I can get it. I went to Atlas's website, and they don't even list this guy anymore to get a rebuild kit. I can't find anything about it. I bought it at an auction years and years and years ago. It's a dual-stage cylinder, so I'm just going to pull it apart and take the O-rings out and head to a hydraulic shop and just have them match it up. What else can I do? I've never rebuilt a dual-stage cylinder before, let alone had one of these things apart. So hopefully I do it right, so I got a jack to use for that truck out there. See what happens. Okay, that was easy enough. Loosen that little bolt up, slid right off the cylinder. But the problem I'm having now is that's an awfully big nut, if you want to call it that. Big hexagonal shape. And I'm having trouble finding anything that goes over it. I grabbed these Cobalts here. Pretty decent sized pair. I don't know, what are they? 12 inches? And they're not even close. So I grabbed my Nipex. Look at that. They're about the same length. But look how much further these open up. That's kind of neat. Something I thought I'd point out. Alright, let me get back to it. Wow, that guy is heavy. Tell you what, that's a lot of metal. There she is. Pretty clean inside there. Really clean. Good. That's all there was to it. I just unscrewed that top. And it's got an O-ring right there. But I don't think that's the O-ring I'm after. I think the O-rings I need are inside there, because that's where the oil was coming from. So it's got these. Stop it. It's got these collars on the end, and that's just the stop. That's how it knows when to stop when it hits those. So slide that off, slide whatever the hell this thing does. I assume that's a guide bushing. And I really need to get a tripod. Hold on, let me put you down for a minute so I can slide that off the shaft. Alright, that's that. Oh shit, somebody wants to talk to me. That went down in there like that. Dump that guy back out of there. Where's that O-ring? Where are you, O-rings? There you are, you square cut bastard. Right there. Right there's the O-ring. See if I can get a pick and pick that out of there. Oh boy, that ain't gonna work. Hey. There you go. Well, an O-ring. That's not the O-ring I thought it was going to have. I thought it would be round O-rings, similar to my my lowrider cylinders. I didn't think it'd be a square cut seal like on a brake caliper. Cool. So that's one O-ring. Might as well pry this one out too. I know I should be using a brass pick, but I don't own one. Come in. Okay, that's two O-rings. There's no O-rings down there. Let me get that set screw apart and take this inner cylinder out. Okay, despite it having the set screw on there, that guy was still on there pretty tight. So this is how I did that. I got to hold this cylinder, and you can't hold it right here because that's where the O-ring's going to ride. You put any kind of nick in that shaft there, and you're going to have a sealing problem. So I just took my towel, wrapped it around the end there, and I grabbed it by right here, by that part of the shaft, because that's where the stop is. So this part of the shaft is never going to see the O-ring. So even though I'm using the towel, if I happen to nick it up a little bit, it wouldn't affect the sealing whatsoever. So that's what I did. Took my nip axe, grabbed it there. That's how I got that nut loose. Cool, let's get it apart. And there you go. We got 3 more seals. We got one right there. And you guys can't really see that. But we got 2 more in there. There you go. That might help. Got 2 more in there. Let me pick them guys out of there. Ta-da! There's the one that was around the top. There's the ones that were inside. These look like pretty special seals. I'll go down there and see if I can get them. But see that profile there? See how it's not flat? See how it kind of flares out? Yep, that's how it gets its seal. This one looks like a pretty special seal because it's got the ring on the end of it, that little bubble there. So I'll go down and see what I can get. If I got to put it back together, I guess I will. Because these were not my seals of concern. It was the one in there that was doing all the leaking. So if I got to put these back in, well, whatever. And I'm going to have to go back and watch this again because I didn't pay attention to where that flared part of it. I didn't pay attention if that was up or down. It should be pointed up. But I'll go back and look just in case. Holy shit, look at this O-ring. That guy's not even around anymore. Look how flat that guy is. That's pretty neat. She's been in there a while. Okay, let's go. I love this thing. You got dirty hands. Oh yeah, it's like $30 on eBay. If you guys don't have one, get one. Okay, YouTube, got the O-rings. It's the next day, of course. I went there. They didn't have them. Had to order them. You know, that's no big deal. Here they are. There's the old ones. When I walked in and said how much, they said, don't worry about it, just get out of here. I was a little confused by that, but I said, whatever. Well, it's not the first time that's happened to me at a hydraulic shop. Just these couple O-rings here probably cost them $1, if that. So, maybe because it was my first time, or maybe because I'm so handsome. I didn't question it. I just said, okay, so this job is essentially costing me nothing. So, let me get these out of the bag and clean this up really well. You can see all that Like garbage in there. Clean that one. Clean that one. Get some oil out of here to use for lube. And I'll bring you back when I got these put in there. Oh, there you go. Some new O-rings. Plenty of oil on them. New O-ring there. Got them all in. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. That funny looking O-ring with the lip I was talking about earlier. Turns out that's not a funny looking O-ring at all, or a sealing ring. That's just the scraper, and all scrapers look like that, apparently. They don't look like that on my lowrider cylinders, so, you know, whatever. I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. But he said this is not uncommon, and this is just a scraper. Okay, so they're all in. Tight fit, as usual, but that's the way a seal is supposed to fit. They also are a very tight fit around there. I'm going to lubricate the shit out of that even more. I probably have to tap it on with a hammer. Okay, so I'll bring it back when that's on. It's back together. Not so smooth. This side, I gave it a couple taps with mallet there. Slid right on. This thing did not want to go on. I ended up tearing my new scraper. That's unfortunate. I put the old one back in. I guess it'll work because that doesn't do the sealing. The seal, I can see it from inside there, and the seal is just ducky. So I guess that's what matters. Maybe there is something different about this one than there was with that one, because I put the old scraper bag in there and she slid right together. So maybe that's why it tore. It was off a little bit. Who knows? It's whatever. It'll work. Got to put this together. That, I'm going to need a couple hands because this thing's heavy. I'm going to have to hold this together at the same time as I drop it in the hole. So, hold on. Before I stab it back in the hole there, I'm going to drain the oil out of it. I probably should have done that first. I'm doing this kind of backwards, because there's oil down there in both chambers, because it wasn't all the way down when I started. So I probably should have done that first, but what are you going to do? So, yeah, here we go. Oh, and I smashed my fucking calipers. Smashed my calipers wrestling around with that thing. So that's shitty. I liked those calipers. Oh well. Alright, here we go. Let me drain that oil. Alright, YouTube. She is empty. I don't know why, but that center didn't drain. I took my turkey baster on a long hose and sucked out what was left to the bottom. But man, that guy holds a lot of oil. I was impressed by that. Okay, let's stab it in. Okay, she's all back together. This is what I'm using for fluid. Light hydraulic fluid. That shit's pretty cheap. 2 gallons was $17. Pretty good shit. And to fill it up, I got my funnel here, but the tip of it, too big. So I got my turkey baster with the end of it removed. Fuck. Yeah, well, you get the point. Turkey baster, end of it removed, poured it in there. Make sure you use the right fluid. Don't run 30 weight non-detergent in your jack just because that's what the lowrider runs. It doesn't work. Trust me. I figured that shit out. Use the right shit. Okay, YouTube. She's full. Moment of truth. There might have been a little spillage. Maybe just a little bit. A little overfilling action. What are you going to do? Anyway, I noticed this. Well, I didn't notice it. I learned this. I found the instruction manual to an OTC Stinger, which is identical to this. The fuck is this thing? Atlas, which is identical to this Atlas. And I found the bleeding instructions for it. And I also found something about this cap. It's got two caps in it. One of them has a hole in it, one of them doesn't. This is the shipping cap. It is to seal it while shipping to keep the oil in. Then you're supposed to switch it over to the vented cap once you get it where it's going to be. Well, the shipping plug was in it, not the vented cap. So I'm wondering if that's why the cylinder was leaking. Because if it wasn't vented, when you would pump it up to replace the air in the system, it was probably getting by one of the seals. And then when you would let it down, that air has to go somewhere. And the only way out would be out through the seal. So I wonder if that's why it's been leaking this whole time. Interesting. Interesting theory I got there, but never know. Because I'm putting the vented plug back in it. It is bled, and you do that by opening the vent valve and pumping it a bunch of times to get the fluid circulating. And that little screw down there is the vent. So, moment of truth. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, all right. I'm not gonna make you watch me pump it. Give me 1 minute. Let me get it all the way up. There you have it. Fully extended. She pumped up fine. Works super. A little air in the system still, but I can deal with that. Alright, thanks for watching, YouTube. Peace.